Hi, this is CK at CK Education. Have you ever thought that life is not fair? Some people don't have to work as hard to get the same opportunities that you have to work so hard to get, or some certain people are just born with things and it just comes so easily to them, but to you it's so difficult. And so it's easy to think that it's not fair. Life isn't fair. And sometimes you may get very negative about that. You may get down on yourself about that. You might even blame other people. You might even blame your parents. But I've thought a lot about this because I've heard this throughout my entire life. And I guess at some point in my life I've asked this question too. It's not fair. But and then I got to thinking, what in the world gave us the idea that it's supposed to be fair? It's not supposed to be fair. What in the world would tell us that everything's supposed to be the same? Everybody's supposed to have the same opportunities and the same skills and the same abilities. Well, that's just not reality, right? It's just isn't. And so there's really two options. You can just keep saying it's not fair, and you can keep getting down on yourself and blaming other people and being negative, or you can acknowledge and accept the gifts that you have and do the best with what you have. Now, I'm hoping that in this video I can give you some perspective on this. The reason we think that things should be fair is that we are in some sort of a subconscious or maybe conscious competition with everybody else. They have this, so I must have this. They can do that, so I must be able to do that. They only spent this amount of time doing that, so I should be able to spend just this amount of time to get the same thing. But what if life was not about a competition? It's not about measuring how I do relative to other people. It is more of an objective measurement of what God would have us to do. If we were indeed created by God, which I absolutely believe we were, and we all have our own purpose and calling in life, then is it not only important that we fulfill that mission, that calling, regardless of what other people do, regardless of what other people have, regardless of what other people are born with? We are only responsible for what God has given to us. And so if we will take care of that well, then we're okay. We don't have to do better, faster, greater than somebody else. We just have to be true to the things that we were specifically called to do. And if we have that perspective, this fairness thing really goes out the window. Who cares if it's not fair? They got dealt a better card in life. I didn't get, dealt as good of a card. So what? I got dealt the cards that I got dealt with. And I have to do the best with what I have, with God's help, because He's the one who gave it to me. Now, some people might say, yeah, but I know people who went through terrible situations. You mean to tell me that God gave them those things and these terrible things that they went through? No, God is not responsible for evil, for evil going on in this world and the sinful things that people do. He allows those things to happen. People make their own choices. And sometimes parents make choices that are terrible for their children. But I'm just saying, inside of us, innate, in our own hearts, when we were born with certain passions and abilities and talents. And if we will discover those things, and if we will live our lives not blaming other people, not getting down on ourselves because what we don't have or what other people have, but if we're true to pursuing and discovering that thing that we're supposed to do, then I think we can live our lives with passion and meaning and great purpose. And in the end, it's God who judges us. It's not everybody else. It's not our neighbors or friends or family members. It'll be God. And so the only thing that's important is that we are true to what He called us to do in our own lives. And that's the only important thing. I think if we have that perspective, then it's not necessary that it be, quote, fair. Where in the world do we get this idea that it must be fair? It doesn't have to be fair. And I'm here to tell you it's not fair. And it won't be fair, but it's okay. Because everybody from where they're standing can find somebody else to compare themselves to say it's not fair. There's always somebody. And so it's a waste of time and energy to think such things. I think you just go on with your life. You are content and grateful and humbled by what you have been given. And you work with that to live the best life that you can live and be the best version of you. You don't have to be like somebody else. You don't have to have what somebody else has. You just have to have what you have. And you can build your own future. And so if you do that, I think you'll have a much better life, a much more meaningful and purpose-filled life, which is what everybody wants in the end. But we go about it in weird ways. Everybody says, I want to be happy. I want to have a purposeful, meaningful life. But they take the wrong path to get there. And in the end, they don't have purposeful, meaningful lives. They just think, well, I did better than this guy, or better than that girl, or better than this family, or better than that person. And in the end, they're empty, because that wasn't what it was about. It wasn't about a race that I'm trying to win, competing with other people. It's more of a discovery of what I am doing here on planet Earth. And if we will find that, and I think it is difficult, impossible to find that without having a relationship with God, because if indeed He created us, and if indeed He created us with a purpose, we got to go to Him to find out what that purpose is. And so when we try anything else, it doesn't really work, because we got to go to the original creator of us to find that out. So I think if you have that perspective, it'll help you greatly in this new year, especially to live a more content, happy, meaningful, purpose-filled life. And I would encourage you to pursue what is worth pursuing, and what is worth spending your energy on and time on is not comparing yourself to other people and blaming blaming other people or yourself that life is not fair. What is worth your time and effort is to discover your calling and your purpose in your life. And if you do that, man, you will have found something that most people on planet Earth do not ever find. And it is one of the most important things that you will ever have to do. So I hope you'll do that. If this video was helpful, please share it with others. And I have over 130 videos on my channel. I upload a new video every single day. So I hope that you will watch them and that your life will be improved. Thank you so much for watching this video. And until my next video, I hope you stay well.